You have to be watching on Florence.
This is your Race of the Week, presented by Sweet Manufacturing.
We're going to find out right here just who's going to take home the crown jewel event.
The South Carolina 400 is underway. Sam Yarbrough leads the field at turn 1. Mason Diaz trying to hang tough on the outside.
42 late model stocks thunder down the backstretch here at Florence Speedway. Side by side, a blur of color, a blur of speed.
Everybody makes it through lap 1, at least up to this point. It is Yarbrough, the leader. Matt Cox in the number 51 trying to work the high side on Mason Diaz for second spot. Just behind them, currently running in fourth, Doug Barnes in the 88. We're starting to see, even though we're only 7 laps into this race, what the agenda is for certain drivers. Connor Jones has decided he wants to work his way to the front, and he wants to do it now. He's up to second, looking high on the pole sitter Yarbrough for the lead.
Watching behind him is Matt Craig. Very smart young racer, winner of the All-American 400. You might think they're abusing the car, but watch the way Craig is following him into the corner, trying to baby those tires and follow him up through the field. Right now, you have a new leader, Connor Jones, to the point.
We got a caution crash. Turn 2, several cars involved. Off of the second corner. That's Justin Whitaker coming back up
Brandon
on the racetrack.
Pierce is involved. Also is the 16 car of Cade Brown. Look at the damage on Riley Music's number 47 off of turn number 2, and he does so, charging with the power down to the pavement.
Looks as though that Jones is going to be the one who is able to break free, or is he? How about Sam Yarbrough deciding that he wants control of this race back? This fight for the lead will continue side by side through 1 and 2.
Sam Yarbrough says, hey, hold on, kid. This is my point.
How about Matt Cox trying to fill the hole on the bottom side? He jumps to the inside of Connor Jones as they come off the corner. However, he can't quite get up to the left side number on Jones' car. And off of turn number 4, Yarbrough down low, Connor Jones up top.
Jones letting that thing wash up there. You see what he does right there. He's getting a really good run doing that coming off the turn. Plus, in a way, it babies the tires a little bit. They're trying to charge, but not too much. But Sam Yarbrough is keeping him honest here, and that might be a little bit of a veteran gamesmanship. Okay, I'm not going to let you have it and set the pace. I'm going to give you a little bit of a fit here and maybe make you burn your stuff off. Debris spotted on the track, and it gets run over there, I believe, in turn number 1 and turn number 2.
And it looks like it may have gotten kicked off the racing groove up at that portion of the racetrack.
I mean, we're sitting up here in the booth and watching this, and where do you even watch?
Oh, trouble, turn 1.
Big wreck.
Several cars involved with more arriving on the scene.
Dexter
Big
Knight.
pile up.
Katie Henninger, the number 7. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has gotten his car stopped. It looks like no damage on the number 3 machine.
As it is still Connor Jones and Matt Cox door-to-door for the race lead. Cox trying to clear Jones at the start-finish line, and there's lap traffic ahead.
If you can't appreciate this, you can't appreciate racing. Oh, my Lord. Matt Cox now takes a decisive lead here going in, but here comes the 44 battling back on the outside. Cox won a race here in September. He won one in April, but it was Caden Brown's year here. Will it be Matt Cox's night, though, tonight in the biggest race of the year at Florence? Side by side, the number 95 red car, Sam Yarbrough, but here comes Matt Cox to the bottom, taking the lead back. Matt Craig stuffs the number 54's nose coming off the turn, trying to get that second spot. Junior Motorsports in their late model program really has those cars dialed in right now.
All the while, Matt Cox has slipped up off the bottom. Here comes Sam Yarbrough, digging on the bottom side of the racetrack here, and Matt Craig is going to try to follow suit. We touched on it several times tonight, Sam Yarbrough, on how he was so good at Myrtle Beach Speedway. And he has come out here tonight, not only won the pole in qualifying, but he's just gone back to the point. Craig trying to get up to second on the low side. And Carson Quapple is there as well. Half car length advantage off 2. Dale Jr. just behind, trying to size up. Clean, Honeycutt, and Diaz tangle. Jr. squeezes by to the top side as they pile up behind him. 50 laps to decide the 2022 South Carolina 400 at Florence. Here they come to the restart.
Cox on the outside, getting the drive from the top to the lead. Sam Yarbrough peeking underneath him, and he's side by side as they've been all night coming down the front stretch for the lead.
Cox with the advantage that time by about a car length. You see these cars bottom out pretty aggressively with many of them on fresh rubber. In fact, I'd say most of the field is on fresh rubber. And those air pressures are going to have to come up to temperature for the first time on the right side. Dale Jr. inside of Matt Craig. In front of him, the team car at Junior Motorsports. Carson Kvapil wrestling with the white number 95 of Jacob Hafner for third.
Well, we talked about his twin brother, Casey Kelly, but Cody Kelly not getting enough of love from us. Well, he's getting the love now. Tristan Kelly right there, almost 3 wide. Mason Diaz charging up through the pack right now. Of course, he was in that big caution flag earlier on. And Glensky sparking, dirt flying as he almost goes off course on the backstretch.
It is Sam Yarbrough on the bottom, Matt Cox up top. We're back underway.
Ooh, an interesting first corner as the 95 dips super low there and gets really good drive off the corner. But here comes Carson Kvapil to the bottom, challenging Matt Cox on the bottom side coming off of turn number 4.
3 wide further back behind them, and Kvapil is not able to draw even with Matt Cox to make that pass for second spot. In fact, Cox is going to work the high side and get a fender on top of Yarbrough. Can't quite pull alongside just yet.
Interesting race here indeed, and now looking back just a little further from that, Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the top side as well, but Carson Kvapil being relentless on the bottom there in his pursuit for the second spot.
And we're not done yet. Mason Diaz wants by for a podium spot. He's inside of Kvapil off 4.
He used the nose and got physical. Then he used the right front corner of that car to move the number 8 and give that spot to the hard charging Mason Diaz.
19 laps to settle it. We're back underway.
Contact between the teammates. Here comes Diaz to the bottom. Cox is in the lead. The charge by Diaz. The contact between teammates opens the door for second place. Give the lead to Cox, second to Diaz.
More contact on the backstretch. Diaz and Yarbrough touched as they came into turn number 3. Diaz to second. Yarbrough to third. Junior to fourth. And Diaz starting to light up the back bumper of Matt Cox. He looks for the lead in 3. Contact is made in turn number 3. Cox up the racetrack. Here comes Diaz for the top spot.
They make contact again down the front straightaway. Side by side, the veteran on the outside, the youngster on the inside in a backup car. Can that team pull off the hat trick and win this race 3 years in a row? Diaz to the lead. There pushes up off the corner. Now he peeks to the inside of Matt Cox. That number 51. Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr.
In his only other late...
Contact! Trouble. Junior gets it to Cox. Cox spins around hard into the inside wall. Diaz in the lead. Sam Yarbrough trying for some redemption on this restart. His last restart wasn't very good, but this one is pretty good. Side by side of the leaders. Here comes Yarbrough with the run off the top to take the lead.
Yarbrough with the advantage by half a car length as they came off of turn number 2. Diaz fights back on the bottom. Brendan Queen in the tire tracks. They almost touch at the start-finish line. Yarbrough leads that lap.
Don't count out that cool cat Carson Kvapil in 4th on the high side now. Butterbean Queen contact with the leaders down the backstretch.
We're not done yet. Look at a donut on the 95 on the left side after they got locked together off 2. Diaz trying to force his way back to the point.
11 laps to go, and the gloves have come off here at Florence Speedway. Side by side of the leaders. Yarbrough spins. Carson Kvapil avoids him. How was that not a massive wreck? What a save by Sam Yarbrough. He spun that thing out and wrecked it 4 times, but somehow he saved that number 95. The emerald flag flies as the 2 competitors not happy with each other. Race underneath it and into turn number 1. Who's it going to be? Yarbrough, but here comes the crossover. Mason Diaz dives to the bottom. Contact with those cars on the backstretch. Side by side. The top 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars at Florence.
Yarbrough has to concede the top spot, but not by much. It is Diaz who goes to the point in turn 1. Yarbrough trying to fight back.
What a battle here up front. Diaz now owns the point, but to the back bumper.
Diaz sideways.
Diaz spins. Yarbrough no, to the back bumper.
Caution flag will fly as Mason Diaz spins for the second time tonight. And Mason Diaz is climbing out of the car right here on the front straightaway.
Mason Diaz apparently he's done. And he's being lifted up by his crew members.
Diaz is going to elect to leave the car there on the main straightaway. 12 laps to settle the South Carolina 400. We are back underway. Quapple with the launch, but Queen is trying to keep pace with him off two.
His first time in the lead podium ride, and he's riding in second in one of the biggest races in South Carolina. Side by side for the lead. Carson Quapple, Butterbean Queen down the front stretch.
And they make contact because why not? Everybody else is doing it, and they may not be done yet. Brendan Queen up to the door. Contact there. Here comes Zach Miracle. 3 wide to the bottom.
Unbelievable racing, unbelievable car control. Cars that are sideways, slamming into each other. This is physical racing right here. This is unbelievable.
This is the finish that the fans came, stayed for, and are still watching at home. Here comes Queen, still trying to wrestle that car to the bottom of Quapple. As they come off turn 4, Brendan Queen to the lead.
9 laps to go, but don't count out the Miracle as he pokes his nose under Carson Quapple.
They're locked together.
Miracle sideways. He spins. Quapple saves it, and somehow we're still pointed straight. But the yellow flag is out. Miracle
anymore.
now spins.
10 laps to settle it. Carson's washing up the hill a little bit here. Queen's trying to maintain pace up top. Queen to the point. Quapple to second, side by side for third with Robusto charging through on the top side.
3 to go at the line right now. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is underneath the car trying to get it to fifth.
Whoa,
and he makes contact with Landon Pembleton. Pembleton goes around. Earnhardt Jr. going for fifth. He and the 0 car make contact in turn number 1 and turn number 2. Pembleton around. Another caution flag.
4 laps to settle the South Carolina 400. Brendan Queen brings us back down for the restart. Quapple with the launch, though, as they head to 1.
Side by side, coming off of turn number 2. 2 young, talented race car drivers battling for the Myrtle Beach and South Carolina 400 here at Florence Speedway.
Queen with the edge as he comes to the line with 3 to go to cement the lead.
Braden Queen to the lead. Second place, Carson Quapple. Isabella Robusto on the bottom of Cody Kelly.
These two have been locked together for the last 10 laps that have been recorded under green. 2 laps to go on Virginia's own Brendan Queen.
Queen now stretching out that lead just a little bit and even more as Quapple gets loose off of turn number 2.
Quapple with a big slide there off of turn number 2. That's exactly what Brendan Queen needed. The Lee Pulliam Performance 03 is on his final lap of the South Carolina 400.
The kids love Super Mario on the side of the car. This driver is more than just a fancy paint scheme. He's a champion. And what is he going to be now, Eric Brennan?
Off of turn number 4, the biggest late model stock car win of his young racing life. Brendan Queen wins the South Carolina 400 at Florence.